And I want to move on to another tech story because Pakistan is now blocking Facebook. If you don't understand why we get on the air, we talk about the Cybersecurity Act, the Cyberbullying Act, Obama's plans, and he openly talked about this months and months and months ago, to set up a cybersecurity office with a cybersecurity czar. CNN playing these wacko scenarios where Michael Chertoff and others are talking about regulating the internet as though it's real. Oh my God, a crisis has happened. And you know what? If the people don't like it, that's too damn bad. And you know what? If the governors don't like the National Guard being on the streets with U.S. military, that's too damn bad too. Watch it for yourself. So Muslim anger prompts Pakistan to block Facebook. And this is how the media plays us off against one another, how they really divide cultures. Pakistan's government ordered internet service providers to block Facebook on Wednesday amid anger over a page that encourages users to post images of who? Islam's prophet Muhammad. And all of this stuff is now hyped up almost a decade later, really almost 9 years later, after 9/11. Without 9/11, people don't understand. No one really cared about these cartoons or depictions of Muhammad because the media didn't play them up to incite violence and misunderstanding and miscommunication among Americans and the Middle East. The Facebook page at the center of the dispute, Everybody Draw Muhammad Day, encourages users to post the images of Prophet on May 20th to protest threads made by a radical Muslim group against the creators of South Park for depicting Muhammad in a bear suit during an episode earlier this year. Now, if you're unaware of this whole South Park situation, before 9/11, South Park did an episode called The Super Best Friends. It was kind of a ripoff of Wonder Woman and Superman, but instead it was all these different religious figures. And then they didn't know it wasn't proper to show an image of Muhammad. So the network didn't know, the South Park guys didn't know. They showed Muhammad. No one made a big deal about it. He was on screen for 22 plus minutes. No one said a word. Nobody. Not a word. So then 10 plus years later, after 9/11, they want to use the same character, and now they have a huge censored box. You can't hear him. You can't see him. They're just showing you the absurdity about not being able to satirize a very public figure in Muhammad, a very public religious figure. And now it's all over the place, and it's used for division, and it has prompted Pakistan to block Facebook. Can you imagine living in a country, much like China, where they just block YouTube, they block Facebook? You no longer have a way to get open source information. That's why the internet is so important in this info war. Without it, we couldn't put films like Don't Tread on Me, the latest film from Gary Franchi and William Lewis, over at prisonplanet.tv for subscribers. We wouldn't be able to put Invisible Empire up on YouTube for free with over 360,000 views on just one link. There's another full link out there with 50,000 views. The thing has been seen by over 500,000 people easily in the last month. That's how we have victories. People become aware of the issues and then involved, and then they go to the voting booths and they vote Rand Paul and they vote Arlen Warren Commission Specter out of office after all these years. This is a guy that's been around forever. Spectre is about as limited hangout as you can get. If you are unaware of this individual, he also headed up the Able Danger hearings, which really were supposed to shine light on this black ops program headed by Tony Schaefer, who's done this show now several times, and his unit with Eric Kleinsmith and others, that they had found Atta and 3 of the other cells prior to 9/11 and tried to go to the FBI 70 plus times. And you know what Arlen Block the Truth Spectre does? He sits up there and panders to the situation and talks about, oh, it must be because of posse comitatus. Posse comitatus is a bad thing. No, posse comitatus is a good thing. It's a separation of the military and police. We have it for a reason. And posse comitatus had nothing to do with Able Danger. And they were very willing to break that premise at the G20 in Pittsburgh when they put troops on the street. So goodbye, Arlen Specter, and hello, liberty. Let's get Rand Paul into the Senate. Let's take this to the next level. Let's scream from the mountaintops that we can have victories. Let people know that Google isn't the savior. It doesn't have your best interests at heart. On the other side, I really want to get into this situation in Afghanistan because some of the headlines aren't there. Oh no, the Taliban's attacking U.S. bases. Wait a minute, we hire Taliban. We created Al-Qaeda. We run the militant groups. That and much, much more coming up. It's the Alex Jones Show. I'm Jason Burma sitting in PrisonPlanet.tv, Infowars.com. We are back live, folks. It is the Alex Jones Show. I am Jason Burma sitting in for the final hour of the Alex Jones program. We're going to be taking calls in the next segment and wrapping up what I had to say about Eric Schmidt, the CEO of Google, denying that Google was actively taking this data and information and telling prosecutors not to investigate is absolutely obscene and absolutely absurd. They were out there to take photographs, and they were data mining the entire country and putting this information on a hard drive. They say they didn't use it. Oh, no, they never used it. But we're going to play this clip, and this is from the finale, the credits of Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined. So you might hear another couple New World Order quotes, including one from James Woolsey, the ex-director of the CIA. But we're also going to show you Eric Schmidt talking about what? The New World Order, the system in which he is a part of. So let's hit that clip.
A lot about that today.
Let's take the New World Order. It's an interesting phrase.
I've been thinking a little bit about the structure of the world, right? The New World Order, as everybody says.
There it is right there, and then here comes Saakashvili. So there he is.
The New World Order.
Schmidt is talking, what about the structure of the world? The New World Order, as they call it. And he's talking about the elitists in which he works with to track, trace, and database our lives. Before I get to Afghanistan, I just have to do this story, which is completely absurd. There is a county out there in Denver that is now going to be charging 50 cents a bus ride. 50 cents a bus ride for your children. Now, that's $1 a day, folks. Now, you already pay your school taxes. You pay your state taxes. What could they be using this for? Well, you're not going to believe it until I tell you. But they're using it for a program to put GPS systems in all of the buses in that school's county. Isn't that lovely? You not only pay the school taxes, but you're also going to be paying $1 a day per child on top of that towards a GPS system in all of the buses in which your child will be given a card and he will swipe. So they're going to be tracking, tracing, and databasing your child on the school bus. Let me repeat that for you. On the school bus. There is nowhere to go. And meanwhile, we just have President Obama inviting the Mexican president to stand on the White House lawn and denounce Arizona's state law. So let me just read this article really quickly, and then we're going to get into the situation in Afghanistan. Douglas County votes to charge fees for school bus rides. This passed 5-0. Parents in Colorado's third largest school district, are being asked to pay if their kids want to ride the school bus. Think about that. Most of these kids with parents with jobs need to ride the school bus. They have to go to work. The Douglas County School Board voted 5-0 Tuesday night to approve a 50-cent per ride transportation fee starting next school year. So $1 a day to get to school and back home. The buses will have Zoner GPS units to track student ridership. They admitted about tracking, tracing, and databasing your kids. Students will have to use a card or a Z-Pass that will track their use of the bus. Douglas County schools will have to pay $221,000 in 3 equal installments over the next 3 years. So about $700,000 a year for the next 3 years, $2.1 million to fully implement the GPS tracking technology. That cost covers the system as a whole. Oh, we get to pay for our slavery. How lovely. And that kind of dovetails in with UC Berkeley asking incoming students for DNA. If you're going to Berkeley, folks, refuse the DNA. Just say no. Say, you know what, I don't think I'm going to be part of that. If you really want me to spend $40,000 this year or this semester at your school, maybe you don't take the cotton swab. All right, now let's get into Afghanistan. Alex Jones last week on his program played the Geraldo Fox News clip in which they just come out and admit, yeah, we're protecting the opium fields. We're working with the farmers to protect you from Al-Qaeda. Meanwhile, it is literally the same network that was caught in the Iran-Contra affair. Do you not understand? Robert Gates was involved in that, and now he's our Secretary of Defense. We're not leaving anytime soon. And this is going to continue. Afghan prosecutor issues arrest warrant for U.S. Army officer over killing police. So why is this important? Well, this dovetails into it. Any of the local authorities that try to put a stop to any of these militant activities that are ruining their country, they just get gunned down by who? By U.S.-backed militant forces. What do you mean U.S.-backed militant forces? Well, these forces that went in and shot the local police chief, guess where they were training? Camp Gecko. What is Camp Gecko? Oh, it's just the spot for the CIA and U.S. Special Forces to run their operations and clothe and militarize and give tanks to these very criminal militants. We're going to come back after this. I am Jason Burma, sitting in for the final hour. It's the Alex Jones Show. We are live at Infowars.com and streaming at PrisonPlanet.tv.